And it's recording. Welcome back. You're listening to Barely Sober News and Reviews, where we pick the latest buzz in movies and TV and talk about it. I'm Chris, and with me, as always, it's been a long time, is my co-host, George.
What's up?
What's going on, George? So there's only one thing that'll wake me up from my slumber, and that is the title of a new Star Wars movie. But before we get into that, there's been a lot of shit going on. Where have we been? Where the fuck have we been, George?
We've been traveling the world.
Have we? I have.
We've been living it up.
Yeah, we have. Maybe
living it up.
So, George, what are you drinking?
What are you drinking?
I'm asking you.
I'm drinking Johnny Walker Black on the rocks.
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. I'm drinking... I can't even fucking pronounce this.
What are you drinking?
Yeah, I can't pronounce this. This is some Czech Pilsner. We'll just leave it at that. But I do have a Jack Daniel's Master Distiller Series Charcoal Mellow Tennessee Whiskey, limited number 4 edition, 43% alcohol, on standby, ready to go.
You're a drunk.
Hey, it's
You're
Friday
a
night.
bastard.
It's Friday night. It's been a long week dealing with fucking Popsicle.
Popsicle?
Yeah, Popsicle.
Yeah, the company Popsicle?
Yeah, the company Popsicle. They're a bunch of dicks.
All right. What's going on in entertainment? What's going on in the world of entertainment?
I don't know, George. You're the one with the list. Why don't you let me know?
All right. So, Ben Affleck dropping out of making the Batman solo movie, saying that he won't drop out of the directing the movie unless it's a poorly made movie. And now he drops out of the movie as the director. So isn't that nice? Go DC.
Yeah, so I followed this story back when he was like kind of saying that, if the script's not there yet, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. And I kind of thought, I was like, oh shit, that's a fucking deep jab at Warner Brothers.
He doesn't want to make a movie, right? He said he didn't want to make a movie or rush a movie if it's not ready, like the script isn't right.
And the way that I read that was that typical, like, you hear about Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad and all the kind of issues that maybe possibly went on behind the scenes. So I kind of saw that as like, Ben Affleck, he's kind of like an asshole sort of guy. So maybe he's like trying to do his thing, and Warner Brothers is like a little bit leaning over his shoulder, trying to like micromanage him. And that was him just kind of like throwing it out there, being like, hey, I'm telling the public right now, and I'm getting them all amped up and worried, so you better let me do my shit. That's what I thought. And then, like, 2 weeks later, he's just fucking out altogether. So I don't know if that was his decision, if that was Warner Brothers' decision.
I think that he just had such an argument with Warner Brothers that he just stepped down on his own.
But that's bad news. If that's the case, that's bad news. And he might be still playing Batman in this movie, which he said he has, right? He is, or whatever. But if he had such a disagreement with Warner Brothers, he might fucking do this one Batman movie, but that might be it. Like if he's actually that pissed, that might be it.
It sucks because he's doing such a strong Batman. As an actor, I think everyone hated him at first, but I think he's the one that like he stole like Batman versus Superman. At the whole movie, him playing Batman.
He definitely did.
Disagreements.
He definitely did, and they built the DC universe somewhat around him at this point because
pretty much. And if he drops out as Batman, then the whole thing is going to crash.
It's kind of hinged on him because as great as Henry Cavill is as Superman, or at least as much as he like looks the part, and he has the acting chops to do it. He was pretty great in Man of Steel. I don't think he got that much of a chance to shine in Batman v Superman, but people fucking love Batman, and people love Ben Affleck as Batman now. And he's been in Suicide Squad. He's about to be in Wonder Woman. As a little bit of a cameo. Wonder Man. That's actually like a Marvel guy. I think.
Is that a new?
I think that's a Marvel character. He's about to be in Wonder Woman, and now his own solo Batman movie, and of course Justice League coming out. So like him, if he just. Man, that would just be the biggest fuck you to the Warner Brothers universe, and that would just really spell disaster going forward.
I mean, Batman vs. Superman, didn't it get nominated for Worst Movie of the Year?
Not sure. Like a Razzie?
Razzie got nominated for Worst Movie of the Year.
Did it really?
Which it's kind of surprising. Like, I didn't think, I guess, I know everyone said it wasn't a good movie, but I didn't think it was that bad that
It's
they got
that
nominated
bad.
for it.
It's that bad from like an editing and a story point of view. Like I said this, I
Yeah.
think a bunch when the movie came out. There's so many like good nuggets that come out of that movie, but they're just like out in outer space. Like it's just
Like that's the theoretical version that's nominated, not the unedited or like the director's cut.
well, I
right?
never seen the director's cut. I heard it's a little better.
It is a little better. I have it. I've seen it's pretty good. But
The issue straight up is just the editing, and I think that was the issue with Suicide Squad as well. Which actually,
Yeah.
I still have not seen all of Suicide Squad. I've only seen
oh
parts.
really?
But I have like kind of just heard the general feedback from people, and it's mostly about the editing. It's the fact that it's like so choppy. The story is very choppy. There's parts in it that don't
Yeah.
even deserve to be in it. There's like
Right.
like apparently
They-
like the Joker, it kind of is like inconsequential to the whole story and stuff like
They
that.
put scenes in that movie that they to make just like I feel like they wanted to make a joke. They saw a joke opportunity,
Yep.
so they wanted to put that scene in because there would be a funny scene.
Well, that's actually a result of the reshoots too, because it was
Right.
after Batman versus Superman came out. There was so much backlash about how like grim it was and hardly any humor. So when they fucking frantically just started to try to put jokes in the Suicide Squad, it's just proving that they're not trusting in their directors. They're nervous. They're insecure. Shit's not
There's
going well over
there's
there.
also scenes I'm kind of realizing that people, the average fan or the below average fan won't know. In Suicide Squad especially, like that like you probably recognize. You ever seen the scene where the Joker and Harley Quinn and the Joker has Harley Quinn going the acid?
No, I didn't see any of that.
Okay, well, too bad. But in that, like the average fan,
Like it looks like a
average
color.
fan-
I've seen like clips of it where it looks like it's tie dye.
Yeah,
sort of
like
thing.
they're not gonna understand why that whole scene is there. Like what is that scene? Like why is she doing that? They don't get that that's kind of like becoming the Joker. Like you ever read the Killing Joke?
No, I'm familiar with it though.
But that's pretty much what happens.
He
to
was like
him.
the original Red Hood or something, right? And then he falls
He
into
fell
the-
into like the acid and became crazy in that, and that's what he was doing with Harley Quinn. So not even like you don't even really know that, and they have that scene in the movie.
Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, Marvel, I'll say this: Marvel makes a lot of great, fun movies. At this point, I feel like it's so oversaturated. Like none of them really stick with me. I mean, fucking since the first of since the original Avengers movie. Yes, I've liked all the individual movies, but I wouldn't say like, damn, that was fucking awesome. I liked Captain America: Winter Soldier a lot, and I liked Civil War a lot, but I still didn't like feel like I walked away from that being like, that was sick. Like I'm kind of just like whatever. But Marvel still is pulling in that money. They're still the audience is loving it. They're doing it right.
Right, and that's the problem with DC. And you said their first reviews of Wonder Woman came out, and they got awful reviews.
That's what I heard. I can't be too confident.
But to be honest, looking at those trailers and looking at the scenes, it looks like an awful, boring movie. You can already see that's going to be bad.
It kind of does.
I
Listen,
mean, hopefully, I think Wonder Woman's going to tank, and hopefully the Justice League movie comes out and brings it all back.
well, I'll we always rant about the DC versus Marvel sort of things. I think this fucking podcast was built upon that. It's like the foundation of our podcast. But I will say before we move on that in the comic books even, DC has always been a certain sort of thing, and Marvel is always kind of like characters that have a little more heart to them, Like Spider-Man is just like he's just like a teenager with some powers, struggling to get a girlfriend, struggling to keep a job. Like there's some heart to that, and Captain America is just like a patriot that's lost out of time, and I feel like the DC characters, they're almost too perfect in a way. Besides Batman, Batman's the only one that has some like depth to him.
Right.
And that's why the
He's
Batman
like the
movies.
favorite.
Yeah, and that's why the Batman movies always work, and that's why the Marvel movies always work. You know, it's fine in comic books and cartoons, but I think translating it to a movie world, it's hard to like make us care about Wonder Woman. You know?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough because it is. I think their stories going back in time are back in like what the First World War One or something like that. So it's like hard to do a movie like 100 years ago, really about Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. It's like they are building up this whole world that no one even seems to really like so far. It's like Man of Steel, yeah, it was okay. Like Batman versus Superman, people were really disappointed. Suicide Squad again, people disappointed. And now it's like Wonder Woman's coming out, and it's like doesn't even take place within the same timeline. So it's kind of like what's happening, you know?
They're just doing a whole different thing, like from her 100 years ago, just kicking butt. And then I guess they're gonna tie it in at the end. She's gonna go away and come back, you know.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And like meet Batman.
But enough of that, man. Let's get to that new title of Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
New title.
What'd you think? Well, I just want to know, what was your first impression of it?
It made me shit my pants.
Yeah, like in a good way, right?
Yeah, like I was like, oh, what could it mean? You know what I mean? Is Luke the last Jedi?
It's
is
Luke.
Rey?
You're kidding yourself if it's not Luke. I know so many people were like, is it Rey? Is it Luke? Is it going to be Kylo Ren?
Or is it the last like Jedi? Like,
yeah,
the
is
last
it plural?
Jedis?
It's fucking Luke. You want to know why it's Luke? It's because
Why?
Yoda in Return of the Jedi.
Right. Are they going to do that thing exactly the same way?
Yoda says, when gone am I, the last of the Jedi you will be. He's talking to Luke.
Right.
Luke is the last Jedi. It's just,
Right.
he just is. Like, that's like his title, you know? Like if,
then,
in Game of Thrones, like, you know, like if, Rob Stark is the young wolf. Like, he just fucking is. Like, you know, like all those characters have like names, kind of like, like Jaime Lannister, the Kingslayer. He's the Kingslayer. Luke is the Last Jedi. That's just like his thing.
Right. It is Luke, but then he's obviously not the last Jedi.
Well, maybe he is though. Think about it.
No.
Rey's not technically a Jedi yet, and if you're kind of paying attention,
Neither is Luke. Luke never finished his training.
No, fucking Luke is done.
Luke
man.
is technically never finished his training or never was really a Jedi.
Listen, Yoda told him that if he defeats Darth Vader, he'll be a Jedi. He fucking did that shit. He's
Okay,
a Jedi.
and then when did that happen? At the end of episode 6.
Yeah, it's been 30 years. What do you think he's been doing? Just fucking jerking off? He's been fucking studying. I bet when episode 8 starts, I bet you're going to see Luke is like crazy powerful. But I'm also kind of putting my money on the fact that he's like reluctant to use his powers. Like that sort of storyline they're going to go with, you know?
Yeah, they're going to go with he's like hasn't done this in so
Yeah,
long.
you know, typical like whatever. They do that in like every
but he
movie.
won't be. But that's not a Jedi thing, though. That's not a Jedi thing to be scared about coming back or use his powers.
But he tried to make the fucking new Jedi Order, and then Kylo Ren killed all his apprentices. He probably hates himself. He's probably like, I fucked up. He's probably insecure. He's like, damn, like I didn't learn enough from Yoda.
But a Jedi doesn't think to be insecure.
I know, but he's probably like, damn, my fucking father is Darth Vader. Now I suck at being a fucking master. Everyone's killing each other.
Jedis don't think like that.
Yo, this is not prequel era Jedi. These are people with real emotions. This is Luke Skywalker, man.
So, but you're saying he's a Jedi, and Jedis don't think that way.
You gotta disregard the prequels because those prequels are just like some weird like monk shit. They're staying true to the original series. Yoda got pissed off. You know? Yoda got fucking a little flustered. Right. Luke was always getting flustered. It's just the way they used to have real emotions back then.
I guess so, yeah.
Whatever. I'm putting my money on him. I'm
sure it's referring to Luke, but that doesn't mean that it's not really the last Jedi. You know what I mean? Do you think they're gonna do a whole thing with like Luke dying like Yoda, or Luke dying like Obi-Wan?
I don't think Luke's gonna die in this movie.
You don't think so? He's dying yet?
No, I don't think it's saying like he's the last Jedi, like he's gonna die. I think like that's like that's kind of like his title. Like when Rey comes and finds him, it's like, Luke, you're the last Jedi. Like I'm searching for the last Jedi.
So you think a lot of Episode 8, The Last Jedi, is about Luke?
I think it's about Luke deep.
Like they're going to be like the star of the movie.
Almost,
kinda.
yes. I mean, I think, let's put it this way. They spent the entire first movie searching for Luke. You know?
Right.
You don't just search for Luke and then he has like a small role in the next movie. They fucking spent the whole movie looking for him. There's got to be some deep reason why he was... First of all, why would he even be in hiding? Like, he's hiding from his own sister. So there's... Obviously, he's onto something. He's researching something or like... There's some shit going on, you know? He's like at the first Jedi temple. He's doing something. Right. He's up to something. And it's going to be very important.
Yeah. That would be exciting to see.
I know. It's one thing I keep talking about this movie. It's the fact that, like, we have no idea what's really going to happen. Like, all we know is that...
There's so many skepticism or things like, well, who's who? Who's Rey and who's what's her relationship with Kylo Ren and this and that. But, like, besides that, like...
Yeah,
I don't know, there's so many, like, you really don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you could say all that, and that's what people always think about, too. It's like, oh, we're going to find out who Rey's parents are. We're going to find out what Luke Skywalker's up to. Like, regardless of that, like, what the hell's Kylo Ren going to do in this movie? What's Snoke going to do in this movie? What's Finn and Poe going to do in this movie? What's Princess Leia going to do in this movie? Like, we don't even have a fraction of a clue what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like... I don't know why, it just keeps blowing my mind.
There's a lot of things, like, are they going to introduce a new character? Stuff like that. There might be new characters in this movie.
I know. I mean, we know Benicio del Toro is playing a role in it. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he, like, what is he? You know, we have no idea. We have no idea anything.
And they usually keep that Star Wars stuff under wraps pretty tightly.
Yeah. Anyway, I feel like when I first saw the title for Last Jedi, it just... seemed so perfect to me. It just seemed like it seemed like a Star Wars title, nice and simple to the point, but also mysterious. And it just kind of like had that like samurai sort of like ancient samurai movie like sort of feel to it, like like Last Jedi, Last Samurai. Like I don't know,
ancient religion kind of thing.
Yeah, it just seemed cool with the red font for the Star Wars logo.
Do those color fonts mean anything?
Well, they don't always do it, so it's just, I mean, why would they make that choice?
Red, I was like, what does this mean?
I mean, come on, as like a graphic designer, I would think there's some symbolism with it. Like it's going to be a bit of a dark movie. It's going to be a little bit, it's going to be intense, I think, you know? It just, you know, you got the gold logo for like the opening movie, The Force Awakens, nice and pretty happy movie. I mean...
Maybe see Ren making a lightsaber or something. Something cool like that.
Yeah, I mean, he lost his lightsaber and his helmet, right? In The Force Awakens? Or I could be wrong. Kylo Ren, didn't he? He definitely lost his helmet because he left his helmet after he killed Han Solo, and then he didn't have his helmet for the entire fight in the snow. And then that whole planet blew up. So he definitely lost his helmet.
No, he'll get another one.
I guess so.
It's not like a one-of-a-kind thing, you think?
I don't know. It was pretty, like, all beat up and shit. I'm not sure. I think, actually, like, if you read, like... I didn't read any of this, and I could be speaking off my ass, but...
Well, he doesn't need that helmet, remember?
He doesn't at all. No, it's just to look intimidating. But I think he actually, like, crafted that helmet out of, like, a Sith artifact or something like that. I don't know. It was, like, an ancient Sith's helmet, and he just wears it.
Take that thing off. You don't need it.
maybe he's not gonna have one in the next movie. Maybe that's just it. He's helmetless now.
Yeah, they wanted to. Yeah, they revealed his cute looking face, and now he's gonna be running around all cute.
Well, he's gonna have a big scar on his face now because Rey kind of fucking slashed the shit out of him.
Yeah, he's gonna be disformed, so that's what he's got.
And speaking of disformed, what about Finn? Finn got fucked up too at the end of the movie.
His arm got screwed up.
No, I think it was his whole back. His whole back got.
Oh, his back.
Yeah. He's like paralyzed. Like, what's up with that? He's gonna be like a robot.
Really?
He's gonna be like cyborg.
I think he was just being a baby. He was milking it.
Oh man, go watch the movie. He gets jacked up.
Nah, he's fine.
He gets like his whole spine slashed in half.
He's just being a baby.
If he's fine in the next movie, I'm gonna call bullshit. He's gotta be like something's gotta fucking happen.
Right. So, what did you think of Rogue One?
Yeah, I was just gonna bring it up. Rogue One, I thought I liked it better than The Force Awakens. I know it's a little bit of a controversial decision, but I liked it.
I think people like it better than The Force Awakens because The Force Awakens was a repeat of all the other the other Star Wars movies.
And
like
yeah,
they just did the same shit.
Star Wars is always like a bit cheesy, you know, but I think Force Awakens was like really cheesy in a lot of ways, and I think Rogue One was a lot less cheesy. And I just people are always bitching about the characters suck in Rogue One. Yo, that movie was not about the fucking characters. I don't even know a single character's name, and I still love that movie. It's just like it just is about. It's about
the story.
It's about the story. And it's okay. I can understand the fact if you never saw any Star Wars movie ever, and that was the only movie you saw, you'd be like, "What the fuck is this shit? What the hell is a Death Star? Who's Darth Vader?" Like, you'd be really confused. But they didn't make this movie to be a standalone. It's an attachment to the original trilogy, and it's like, it's fucking sick. You watch that movie, how do you not want to pop in A New Hope right afterwards?
Right.
And damn, that last 30 minutes gets you so amped.
Oh man.
I saw it twice, and both times during that Darth Vader scene, I was like drenched in sweat afterwards. I was like, it was like 5 seconds long, and somehow my body just ejaculated all the sweat out of my system.
I was in the theater and I was looking around is this really happening right now? I was in shock going through when that scene happened.
It's in the original trilogy, all you ever see is that everyone is scared of Darth Vader.
Right.
And that's great because you could just, without even ever showing it, they establish that this guy is a boss. He's intimidating. People are scared of him. Even the scary Nazi Empire people are scared of this dude in the silly black cape and shit. And so, they didn't need to show it. But it's so great after, all these years to finally really see him in action. And then you're like, oh, shit, he's scary. No wonder why. That was intense. You just see the way, the rebels are just fuck. They got no...
They're just let me in.
Oh, my God. It was that scene was dramatic even before you see Darth Vader come. Because already you're all the main characters are dead. And you're like, oh, shit, I guess the movie's over now, kind of. And then it just, zooms up to this, spaceship that's all getting fucked up. You see it's, not even working anymore. Then they zoom to the inside, and it's, all the rebels, they're downloading the file, the lights are off, the door's, half closed. And you're like, oh, shit, this is fucking intense. What's happening now? And then Darth Vader comes, and, it's just too much for the human body to handle.
My body was rejecting it. It was too much. It was overload. It was this is too much awesomeness at one time.
Oh my God. And it's just it's so short, but it's so long at the same time. So much happens. You just see, you just feel their franticness, you know? And just even that last guy who's just reaching through the door, handing the plans.
Just take it.
Just take it. He knows he's fucking dead. And then then it just switches the camera angles and the other guy takes it and you just see him getting stabbed through the chest. Fucking sick.
Yeah. It was a great movie. I mean, you kind of knew that was going to happen. Everything with the movie with everyone dying. I feel
I kind of thought so, but I was surprised Disney actually went through with it.
I mean, but it wasn't blood and gore and whatever, but it was just passion with these characters, kind of showing the passion or the belief that they have in the rebellion. So it's not they're it's not the Empire is trying to do evil things. They're just trying to run the show, and there's a rebellion, and they're trying to. And so obviously the rebellion got killed. It's not it's not a real war movie where there's blood and guts everywhere. Just people are dying because that's just what's happening.
But I don't think they really needed it. I never once felt in that movie
there's something missing.
This is a little cheesy or whatever, because there's never been blood in Star Wars, you know, and it's been okay, you know, when a stormtrooper gets shot, he just fucking gets shot.
He's
and
oh,
yeah,
he goes down.
like the Will, was it the Wilhelm
Because
cry?
it's like a lot of like, I guess you want to say like lasers that they're shooting that
It's true.
It's not like you bleed out from.
You don't bleed out yet. If you want to get real nerdy and sweaty about it, fucking shit like like it's so hot
it blows a hole
sears.
through you. That's
it blows a hole through you and sears all the blood vessels because it's so hot.
But then you can't live, so you die. like you get
true.
a lightsaber cut off your arm, it's like, there's no blood dripping from the rest of your arm. It's just it is what it is.
The only time they ever show blood, actually, I think in all of Star Wars, is in the very first movie when they're in the cantina in the beginning, and Obi-Wan Kenobi chops off that guy's arm, and it's like the fakest looking like arm on the ground, just like hollow.
Yeah.
It's like doesn't even have like any meat to it. It's just like some blood seeping out.
And then that guy, well, actually, wasn't that guy in Rogue One?
Yeah, I thought that. To me, I thought that was a little too much. Like,
what? I liked it because that was so subtle, though.
Okay, yes, I'm not saying I didn't like it, but like a lot of people complain sometimes when there's like obvious Easter eggs when they're just like, "Hey, this is Star Wars," like trying to remind you.
Not everyone is gonna get that.
Nah, I'm sure. I saw it with my girlfriend. She fucking had no idea. She didn't even know Tarkin was CGI. She thought that was a real dude. I'm like, no, he's been dead for like 20 years. 30 years, right? Fucking long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't know. And like I went with my parents again too because I'm not making this mistake anymore. I took them to see Force Awakens, they fall asleep. I took them to see Rogue One. I'm like, you're gonna like this one. They fall asleep, so whatever.
You're not taking them to see. You're not gonna take them to see The Last Jedi.
No, I will. I'll keep up the tradition.
You're gonna do it because
bring
you can
like
see the
a
movie
little
again.
fucking syringe of like adrenaline, just like stab them both in the back.
That's hilarious that they're falling asleep during the movie. That's hilarious that they're
I know,
fall
and
asleep.
I'm like the biggest Star Wars fan, so I'm always so amped up. And then at the end of the movie, I'm like, oh man, that was great. And then they're just like, oh, I gotta admit, I've been sleeping the whole time.
I could see that. But
No, you know what the first thing my parents said when they came out of that movie? Because I guess they like woke up like towards the end. They're like, wait, so the main character was Princess Leia? I'm like, no, you talking about the girl that was in the movie the whole time? They're like, yeah, that's Princess Leia, right? I was like, no, that's a different character. That's
a whole
Jin.
different person.
That's Jin. She died. And then they're like, when did she die? I'm like, remember when the big mushroom cloud was coming, Death Star shot, and she's hugging that guy on the beach? They're like, I thought she was just like hugging him because it was like a job well done and they were leaving. I'm like, no, she fucking died. What's wrong with you people?
Everyone died.
Oh my god. It's like frustrating, but I couldn't care less because I still love
Sounds like me talking to my parents.
Yeah.
They saw The Force Awakens because it came in on like Netflix DVD. And they're just like, yeah, it's good. Like, yeah. And they're like watching it like, oh man, like a little kid.
Dude, something about Star Wars just like inspires the imagination. It's just like a great thing.
Yeah, it's good. It's good old fashioned fun.
It is good old fashioned fun.
Right.
So what else is going on, George? Oh, there's something.
I've been so stressed lately. With entertainment. Okay.
Well, I got a kind of a bleak story while we're still on the topic of Star Wars. By now, everyone kind of knows about Carrie Fisher. This is no way breaking news or anything like that, but it does kind of leave the question of like, where the hell does Star Wars go from here? And as much as like the fans and everyone that knew her is like hurting from this, like Star Wars is still a business and they still have to move forward and they have like some really difficult decisions ahead of them. And they've already came out and kind of shut down the rumors like they're not CGIing her.
Yeah.
Yeah, Star Wars came out officially and said, hey, like, we're putting a stop to these rumors now. We have no plans to CGI Carrie Fisher in future movies. So that really only
leaves a lot of scenes planned for her.
Yeah, well, you have to imagine, I mean, she's not only the sister of Luke Skywalker, but she's the mother of Kylo Ren. These are like the two biggest characters.
Two big characters coming up in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, and you'd have to imagine, I mean, without getting into like the female, like the feminist like power of these movies, but they've kind of slanted in that direction with Rey being the main character. We have Princess Leia. She's now actually General Leia Organa, right? She's the leader of the Resistance. We got in Rogue One, Jyn Erso is the main character. So I'm sure they have Kathleen Kennedy as kind of running the whole show at Lucasfilm. So I'm sure that they had big plans for Leia and Carrie Fisher to kind of wrap up this trilogy and kind of make her like a big thing. And the fact that they're not CGIing her leaves them really with only two options, right? They could either write her out of the story somehow or recast her.
Nah.
They both suck. There's no good option.
They gotta write her out because who's gonna replace? Whoever the new Princess Leia would be, they will get torn apart.
Well, yeah, but there's no good answer. If she gets written out, it's kind of disrespectful too, because it's like, here's this great character, and you just like kill her off screen or something like that, or like say, oh, she's in a very important meeting. She's not going to be.
It's like a whole Heath Ledger Joker thing.
Yeah, but that
just don't even acknowledge it though.
But that's different.
But they got away with it
that's different because they didn't need the Joker for the third movie. They need Leia. They need her. She's Kylo Ren's mother. How are you going to write the rest of the story without her?
He's the Luke's sister, so it's. I don't know. I don't know. Can you just be like, oh, she died?
All right. So let's. If you had to give the option, and let's say CGIing her was back on the table, so you have three options: write her out of the story off screen, recast her, or CGI her like they did with Tarkin.
I don't see a problem with CGIing her, but they obviously don't want to do that. I don't get. Well, I guess they feel like it's disrespectful.
I think it's I'm with you. I think CGIing would be.
What's wrong with that? I don't get why is that such a big problem.
Well, a lot of people think it's really immoral.
It would still be Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia.
Yeah, people think it's immoral because you're kind of like, she didn't give permission to do that. And it's like the same thing with Tarkin. They kind of were like, Peter Cushing didn't give permission to CGI him. And it is weird, but like, at the same time, when you're making a movie, you special effect all sorts of things. And at that point, Carrie Fisher is not Carrie Fisher. That's a character. That's Princess Leia. So if you're going to CGI, if you could CGI Princess Leia in like the cartoon shows like Star Wars Rebels, I know it looks like a cartoon, but what's kind of the difference of CGIing her in a realistic way? It's a character. You're not CGIing Carrie Fisher in regular life, showing her go to the grocery store and like showing her like do some shady shit.
She's on Las Vegas Strip doing a show, like
Yeah, you're not doing that. You're CGIing the character of Princess Leia, and she happens to look like Carrie Fisher. You know what I mean? Like. So I would be okay with that.
I'd say CGI, but apparently
it's off the table. I don't.
So besides that, I say write her off.
I say recast her.
If you're not going to CGI her, you write her off.
I say recast her, man. I know it's there's no easy way, but I'd rather see
There's one Princess Leia, and that's it.
I 100% agree, and I'll never disagree with that statement. And I'll probably look at whoever they recast if they do that, and I'll probably be like, "Fuck that bitch! I don't care who she is."
You're gonna hate her.
I'm gonna hate her, but
it's like
I'd almost rather. I can't picture a good way to write her out of the story, though. I just can't picture it.
It's like, but it's also like in Batman, Batman Begins. What's her name? Is Rachel.
Yeah.
And then obviously she couldn't do it anymore. So in Batman The Dark Knight, what's her face became Rachel. And I hate her, everyone hated her, and good thing that she died, Same thing, there's one, and that's such a small, insignificant role.
Yeah, okay, and that
was a problem.
That was a problem.
We're talking Princess Leia here.
Yeah, that's not, she's not,
come on. I know. You still want to have her in the story. Like, I get it. Like, she probably is. I think you need to finish major role.
I just think, listen, they're not going to CGI her, but you got to give the character some justice. You can't just write her off. Like,
But what's more important, Carrie Fisher or the character?
the story is more important. Not than Carrie Fisher. I'm not saying that. But I mean,
Okay, I agree. The story is very important.
Yeah, like you don't just all of a sudden change the entire story that you've been planning for God knows how many years now. I mean, when did Disney buy Lucasfilm? In like 2012 or something? Earlier, maybe even.
Right, but that's also why you CGI her.
Yeah, I know, but they're not doing that for some reason. And I think honestly, besides it being
they
like
regretted CGIing
Tarkin,
what'd you say?
Tarkin.
Tarkin. Do you think they regretted doing that?
Honestly, a lot of people had a problem with that, but I thought it was great. I thought it was amazing.
I mean, I don't see a problem. I mean, I get why. I guess I get why people had a problem with it.
But why is it like? Let's put it this way: you're watching a movie that has like CGI like creatures in it anyway. Like, what
about Paul Walker getting CGI?
Well, that looked bad.
That was bad.
That
but you know what I
looked
mean?
bad.
But they did it, and they did it with his brothers too, like in there.
But yeah, but that's also different because they were in the middle of filming. They're not in the middle of filming episode 9.
But they had a lot of things planned for her.
Yeah, man, this is like a crazy.
You think her family just already came out and said we don't want any of that? It's probably because her family doesn't want that stuff.
Yeah, you're right. It might have been, and yeah, it could have been. You know, it's got to be tough. Like, I don't know though. I would fucking.
If the family was like, "No, you should do it. It's okay." Then they'd probably do it.
But it might also, don't forget, they might be kind of like, and I don't want to like say that they're shitty people, but they might kind of be like saying that, you know, they're not going to do it because it's like not right. But they might not be doing it because honestly the technology is not really there. If you think about like Tarkin and Leia in Rogue One, they weren't even moving around. They weren't even showing much emotion. They're kind of just like standing still, saying a couple of lines, that's it.
But was Princess Leia in The Force Awakens moving around?
No, but you got to imagine that in episode 9, maybe she has some like bigger moment with Kylo Ren that's like maybe involves like some real acting, some real emotion. You know, I'm sure they had something big planned. Like, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So maybe they can't really like pull it off with CGI, and they just kind of know that off the bat that it'll look ridiculous, and they're just like, fuck it. I don't know.
It's tough. I mean,
there's no right answer.
If you're not gonna CGI her, I think it's also disrespectful too to recast somebody that's dead.
Listen, every single one of these options is recast. Meryl Streep.
Fuck her.
Yeah, I know, fuck her. But, I mean, Meryl Streep, though, is good friends with Carrie Fisher, and she's an actress that could pull it off.
Probably. But fuck her.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's a tough situation, so we'll see what they're going to do. I mean, you obviously know that they're not going to CGI her.
I'm not trying to bring...
I say take her out. I think you can easily replace scenes for Leia and have her taken out, get killed, do something.
Well, you're gonna just have her. Okay, here's the only way I could see it happen is her getting like, just like maybe they take some footage that they shot of her in either Force Awakens or in Episode 8, and just have her like CGI her like on a ship or something as like a ship gets hit with a missile and the whole thing explodes or something.
Right. Yeah,
they could do that,
and they could also have more Ben Kenobi or Kylo Ren getting emotional about it too.
Yeah. But then that also involves them changing the whole story and whatever. But I don't want to, definitely don't want to fucking bring up politics in our podcast because it's all anyone's ever talking about. But I do want to say that when Meryl Streep was giving that anti-Trump speech at the, whatever the fuck it was, right? It kind of reminded me of, remember like last year during the Oscars when Leonardo DiCaprio finally won an Oscar? And we were like, yeah, Leo! And then he gets up there and he just starts like ranting about global warming. It's like, dude, no, fucking just live in the moment, man. Why are you trying to make this like
You had such a good speech and then you ruined it.
Yeah, and that's how I was like feeling with like Meryl Streep. I'm like, dude, this is reminding me of like Leo. Like, no one wants to hear this right now. Just accept your award. This has nothing to do with anything else. This is acting. Like, you know, like can you just imagine if they're in Hollywood But can you imagine, like, you know, if you work in like a business or something and you won like employee of the month and they had like a little cake and a little celebration and you got your fucking little trophy or whatever you get and you just start talking about global warming or talking about politics or whatever, people will be like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like, you won your award for this company. The fuck? Shut up. You know? Like, I don't know. But
it's
anyway.
kind of like I'm sure Meryl Streep has other platforms to do things like that.
Yeah, do it all you want, but like this, I just feel like, come on, man, we like you're trying to watch TV, watch an award show, you want to know about the movies and about, you're not, you know, you want to watch politics, you watch the news.
Yeah, I agree.
All right,
do that shit on your own time.
Exactly. But anyway, Streep might be the new Leia.
Let's get into the hot new movies coming out.
What's coming out, George?
Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2. That's exciting. They dropped the trailer on that.
Yeah.
That looks like absolutely amazing. Marvel's, of course, doing great things with that. Because everyone loved Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, and there's a lot of potential for the second one.
I'm actually, I have higher expectations for the second one, to be honest.
Oh, of course.
I think
everyone does. When you really look back at the first one, it was very plain Jane, everyone could like this movie kind of thing, and they hit all the points. Like
Marvel itself is kind of like that.
You're gonna like the movie.
Marvel is a little bit like that. If you notice, they're a little shy coming out of the gate, and then they get a little stronger. You know, they do something.
What's the movie? Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Well, I saw the first one. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I have not.
But it's straight up. It's like if you like Marvel and the comic books, you're gonna like the movie. Like there's nothing.
They do that with all their first movies, like Captain America, Iron Man, Ant-Man. Yeah. They're all kind of like Thor. They're all like, here's a movie everyone could love.
Like I want to dip my toe in the water and see how it is. Oh, it's great. Yeah. And then let's dive in.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You know? And then like you come back for like Doctor Strange 2, and all of a sudden it's like some fucked up shit that like you weren't even ready for, but you're already invested, and you're like, yeah.
All right. So yeah, the second one looks good. Like they're gonna dive deep into the development of the characters and into the story. And also, Chris Pratt said that like the opening scene about Star-Lord's father like made him come to terms about the relationship with his own father. So I'm sure this movie's gonna get pretty deep too.
Damn, you wouldn't expect that out of like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I mean, Star-Lord, I guess, obviously doesn't know his father at all and is living, you know, on his own, like in a fucking, he's a human, I guess, half whatever, and he's on his own. He doesn't know what's going on at all.
I have a lot of respect for Chris Pratt. I like that guy.
Oh, yeah, he's great. He, like, does great things on, like, social media and, like, all this stuff.
Yeah.
He was, like, homeless, you remember? You hear that?
He was what?
He was homeless for a while.
Yeah, he was like living out of a van.
Living in a van down by the river.
Smoking mad weed.
Yeah.
Rapping like Eminem or some shit. So I saw him like rap Eminem one time by heart. He's like talking about, he's like, yeah, we used to just live out of a van or whatever. We just used to sing this song all the time. What was it? Forgot About Dre, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone kind of knows the lyrics to that song.
Though.
Yeah, everyone kind of knows the lyrics, but he actually pulls it off pretty well.
So, Guardians of the Galaxy looks great coming up. I'm not sure the date on that one, but it looks fantastic.
All right, what else you got?
Logan.
Ooh, that. I'm seeing that one for my birthday.
Are you? And your birthday's coming up, isn't it?
In March, yeah. It comes out in March. Fuck yeah, Logan looks good. What's the laughter for? You don't think so?
No, it does look good. I got other people laughing in the room.
What is it, Julie? Julie doesn't think it looks good?
She's a drunk back here. No, but Logan does look sick, and each time they release something, it looks better and better as it goes. And you kind of, I guess, obviously it's out now that the little girl is like his daughter. Who has
no, she's not. She's not his daughter. Is she his daughter? I think she was just like a clone from his DNA or something.
Oh, okay. Well, some people might say that's his daughter.
Well, maybe, depends on how you look at things.
I guess, the same thing going on as he does.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the claws and the whole thing. Blah.
Yeah. I hope it's good. I heard that like a couple of critics were giving like a viewing of like the first 40 minutes and they said it's like fucking Oscar worthy, like that good. But I really hope it is. I mean, I just think like Hugh Jackman, he does such a good job as Wolverine, but like none of the X-Men movies are really like that good. You know, like they're fun. I like them all.
He said though that his first time playing Wolverine was awful. He said that it was no good.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, but that's just an actor who's looking back, who looks at his performances and thinks they're, you know what I mean? That's just an actor's.
Yeah. No, he did get better. He for sure got better. He's like more. He's more Wolverine now. You're right. If you watch X-Men 1, you're like, who's this little punk? It's not Hugh Jackman.
I've looked back at the old Wolverines, and he's definitely not as good, but he's definitely owned the character. Like, right when he's owning the character, and he's doing a fantastic job with the character, he's like, yeah, I'm done with this. This is my last one.
I know. I just hope that, like, he gets to actually be Wolverine in a great movie. Like, a movie that I'm going to want to watch over and over again, because it's so good, you know?
I think it'll happen. And I know Ryan Reynolds is pushing him to do a Wolverine Deadpool movie.
I know. Yeah, you know what?
He's all just like, nope.
I think it'll happen. They're good friends in real life. They're good friends in real life, too.
What'd you say?
I said they're good friends in real life. But you know what I think is going to happen? I think there's going to be a extended cameo with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in a Deadpool movie. I don't think it'll be like a Deadpool and Wolverine movie. I think it'll be like a Deadpool movie that has like a half-hour cameo where Wolverine's like in it doing some badass shit, and then that
would be sweet.
That's all I want. Yeah. You know what like the way Colossus was in the first Deadpool, like that. Like Colossus is kind of barely in it. He's here and there. Kind of like that a little bit, you know.
Well, yeah, Hugh Jackman can do that.
Yeah, he could do that. Come on.
Yeah,
Plus,
come on, Hugh Jackman.
You know, he bases a lot of what he does off of his kids. You know, he'll ask his kids like, "Do you want me to be in this movie?" And they'll be like, "Yeah,
like
Daddy."
That father actor kind of crap.
Yeah, he's a good guy, and he's gonna do it.
I know, but Logan looks great, and you kind of like right when he's like really owning the role, like really killing it, he wants to step down. That's just. I'm sure you know it's like his personal decision because he commits so much to the role, a part of working out, and it's his whole life of eating right and being physically fit to do the role.
Well, I'll tell you, it's extremely unfortunate that the X-Men isn't owned by Marvel Studios. It's owned by Fox because let's say he was part of that like Avengers world and whatever. Marvel would have signed him on and made sure, like look at Robert Downey Jr. I mean, I guess him and Hugh Jackman have done like the same amount of movies now or whatever, but I don't know. I just think I think if it wasn't Fox, I think Marvel Studios would have like offered him a sweeter pot and
they would
kept
have
him
locked
there.
him up.
They would have locked him up for sure.
Locked him up. All right, let's get into the big news. Some big stuff coming out probably next week. Probably the greatest Batman movie ever made, or ever going to be coming out. Lego Batman is coming out next week.
Oh shit!
How sad is it? It's probably going to be the best Batman movie, and coming out just because it's a joke.
It might be. It might actually be the best Batman movie ever.
The most exciting thing you're looking forward to in the DC universe is the Lego Batman movie.
It definitely is at this point, to be honest.
It is.
I was looking forward to the Batman, but at this point, with Ben Affleck dropping out,
it's half sad and half kind of cool because you know this movie's gonna be for the kids and kind of get them into the comics kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's also like I think I'm gonna enjoy it. Like I want to go see it next weekend.
Yep.
And it's going to be hilarious. It's going to be funny. And the whole thing is, like, Batman. The whole thing is Batman works alone, but then he takes on Robin, he takes on Batgirl, da-da-da. He has a family, whatever. So it's going to be a feel-good movie, which is totally not a Batman thing. But I think it's going to be great.
I can't wait. I've been looking forward to it for a long time.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great. I saw
see.
that first trailer that came out so long ago, and it was just like Batman like microwaving something. I don't know. It was just
He's
stupid.
microwaving a lobster.
This is stupid fun. Like I just can't wait.
Yeah. We'll see. It's not. I mean, it's going to be good, but I'm excited for Lego Batman. I'm going to see it. Logan, Guardian of the Galaxy. I'm obviously going to see Wonder Woman right when it comes out that weekend.
I'm gonna fucking take a big shit that weekend and not do anything.
I mean, you never see the movie the opening weekend.
Only Star Wars.
I'm going to have my review printed and gone, and you're going to be like, how was Wonder Woman?
And you'll probably be like, it was like okay. A lot of people aren't gonna like it, but it was alright. And then I'll read some reviews and it's gonna
That's
be like, this
exactly
movie
what
sucked
I'm going to
ass.
say because I'm going to like it because it's DC. And
Yeah.
then, but it's actually not a good movie.
You're just gonna be like in a great state of denial.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been Barely Sober News and Reviews on our News and Reviews segment with Chris and George. Check us out on
You just pulled
Twitter
the
and
You just
Instagram.
pulled the Donald Trump. You hear him the other night announcing like
No.
the Supreme Court guy. He pulled like an Austin Powers thing. Where he was
No.
like, I'm announcing to the Supreme Court this guy of the Supreme Court. Like, I don't know, it's super awkward.
You're welcome to Barely Sober News and Reviews, and on this has been Barely Sober News and Reviews. Check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Barely Sober News, and follow us and like our shit because fuck you. You should do it anyway.
Yeah, maybe
Like and subscribe to the video.
we'll post something
Watch
once
it like
every
8 times.
4 months.
Yeah, maybe many more coming up.
Yeah, we'll get back into it.
Yeah. We got a lot to do. So, until next time, let's go Lego Batman.
All right.